What's up, everybody? I wanted to do a video, a follow-up video to our episode this weekend, where we discussed, well, I discussed really, a lot of what's been going on in the United States of America and all the chaos and the disasters that were occurring over the weekend. Utter destruction in American cities. It's quite disgusting. In all honesty, I've been pretty disgusted, not only with the acts, but with people that I know. And maybe you guys feel the same way. I want to touch on that. I also want to touch on the Black Lives Matter group, particularly because I've been seeing a lot of people, a lot of Karens, who are hashtagging Black Lives Matter. They're posting their black squares. They feel like they're helping from their couch. Doing a lot, Karen. Doing a lot. But I want to talk about that a little bit too, and what you're really saying when you hashtag Black Lives Matter. I don't think you know. I think you're willfully ignorant. I also think that the media is doing a very, very poor job of explaining what the motives really are here. And I want to share some of that with you. I think you need to see it. I also think you need to see what is actually happening in American cities. I don't think you know that either, because the media is not showing you that. They're not doing a good job of reporting what is actually going on in the streets right now. They're mostly peaceful protests. Well, are they? Are they? Let's just take a second to look at what a mostly peaceful protest is here. I want to pull this up. This is from officer.com. And why do I think this is important? Well, why do I think this is important? Just read the headline. New York Police Department officer stabbed. 2 others shot. This officer was stabbed in the neck. And 2 other officers were shot on Wednesday after the city's curfew went into effect. Really good job you're doing, de Blasio. Just read the article here. An NYPD officer was stabbed in the neck. We know that. 2 officers assigned to prevent looting were in the area of Church and Flatbush Avenues. A man walked up to the officers, pulled out a knife, stabbed one of them in the left side of the neck. Just stabbed him. The suspect then stole a gun from the officers and shot 2 other officers who responded in the area, wounding them. 22 shell casings. 22. You know, this is just one incident. I've seen David Dorn getting some attention from conservatives. I think that's great. I think he deserves that. I think we need to be paying a lot of attention of these officers and former police officers who are getting just outnumbered and just obliterated in these riots. And I want to ask all the Karens who put a black screen up, a little black screen. They support Black Lives Matter. They support these mostly peaceful protests. Just watch them. Just turn on your TV. Just don't put CNN on. Go to some other source and just watch the protests. And you tell me if you think they are mostly peaceful. Well, the minute they're not peaceful anymore. And this is the outcome, isn't it? New York Police Department officer stabbed. Do we value our police in this country? Do we value our law enforcement? Do we understand what that job entails? Do we have any idea of what a police officer goes through on a day-to-day basis? Especially right now in this country? Do we care? I'm not sure many of you do. And I think that's unfortunate. I think that's unfortunate because these people are standing in front of us. And I think that's something we really need to realize, isn't it? If that police officer hadn't been standing there, that could have been you stabbed in the neck. What if people are throwing bricks at you? How would you feel? Well, without law enforcement, they'd be able to. Who would stop them? Who? You? How would you stop them? With a hug? With your words? You think that works? You think words work? Do you really believe that? Do you really feel like we should get rid of police? You don't? Well, Black Lives Matter does. And you support them. What, you don't believe me? You think Black Lives Matter is just to encourage black lives? How come Black Lives Matter isn't talking about the black police officers that have been killed? How about the black business owners whose businesses have been destroyed because of anger? Anger! We're all angry. Okay. I'm angry too. I'm angry right now. I'm not burning down a business. That's because I was raised right and because I have common sense. Let's take a look at this. You guys all support Black Lives Matter. Do you even know what that means? Do you have any idea what they're asking for? Well, let's take a look here. Hashtag defund the police. This is from blacklivesmatter.com. Spelled correctly, by the way. blacklivesmatter.com. Hashtag defund the police. Enough is enough. Yeah, okay, just a bunch of bull. Just blah, blah, blah. Yeah, violent death. They often threaten and take lives. Law enforcement often threatens and takes black lives. We're going to look at that in a second. So here's what they want. They're calling for an end to systemic racism, which doesn't exist. And they're also calling for a national defunding of police. Let me just read that again. A national defunding of police. They want more investment in the communities. No one's arguing that. That's good. They want resources to ensure that black people not only survive but thrive. You know how you do that? You raise your kids. You keep your marriages together. You value human life. And I'm not saying that all black people don't. Don't take that this way. That's not what I'm saying. You value all life. If you're with us, if you're with us. If you want to defund the police, add your name. Add your name. Defund the police. Should we take a second? Should we take a second to reflect on what that would mean? What do you think law enforcement does? What do you think their goal is? To enforce the laws. If governments didn't have money to enforce the laws, how do you think that would happen? Community policing? You think the community is going to be able to police themselves? Well, don't you want to take away our Second Amendment right? How are we going to police ourselves without guns and without police? Do you ever question yourselves on why? Why? Why is it that the same people who want to take away our guns now want to defund our police departments? Do you ever think about that? Should you think about that? I think the answer is absolutely you should be thinking about that. Why? Cops threaten and take black lives. Do they? I think Tucker Carlson has done a really good job this week. And I think you should go watch all of his monologues from this week if you haven't seen them yet. He's doing a fabulous job covering this and asking these questions. But is that true? Do cops often threaten and take black lives? That's the narrative. That's what they want you to believe. You can find these statistics. They're out there. Actually, the Washington Post collects them. I don't think they report on them, but they collect them. Let's take a look. WashingtonPost.com. This is 2019. 1,004 people were shot and killed by police in 2019. Now I'm going to dive into this number a little more. But before I do, I want to show you something else. Let's take a look at some death statistics from 2019. Now this is from cdc.gov. These are your top killers in the United States. Let me go back. Fatal force by police officers in the United States. 1,004 people. And this number has not been drilled into. This is not blacks. This is not whites. This is not Asians. This is 1,004 human beings were shot and killed by police in 2019. 647,457 human beings died of heart disease. 599,108 human beings died of cancer. More people died of accidents. Diabetes, which is fairly avoidable if you eat right. Compare those numbers. Look at what you're looking at right here and compare that to this. I'm not denying that any of those 1,004 lives have value. All lives have value. All lives matter. But why aren't we on the streets protesting cancer and heart disease? Why aren't we demanding that our governments do more to prevent this? Why aren't we rallying against fast food places? Because the majority of Americans are dying of heart disease, which is pretty preventable if you eat right, in most cases. Why aren't we protesting ourselves? Suicide, 47,173. Can you imagine what that number is going to look like in 2020? Why aren't we protesting this? You know why? Because the media would kill us. That's not the narrative. We were protesting the government taking our jobs away because of COVID-19. We don't care if people are out there protesting because of COVID-19. Health professionals signed some document saying that people should go protest. You were just telling us that we need to stay in our houses because we don't want to spread this. And now you're saying, no, go get together in mass groups and rub all over each other. And this isn't even drilling into this number. Let's drill into it just a bit more. Let's go ahead and filter to just black people. Let's look at this. It's filling up. Oh, 236 deaths because of police shootings in the United States. 768 people don't even meet that criteria. That's 76% of police shootings and killings are not black people. These numbers matter. Because we're burning our cities down because of the perception that police officers are killing African Americans every day. Well, if that's the case, it should be 365. And this doesn't even drill into how many of these are unarmed. I think that number's 10. You can find that information down here. It talks about every single one of them. In our next episode, we're going to go over these. We're going to talk about these. I'm going to look up more information on these. Tucker Carlson reported on this last night. I think it's 10. We're burning cities down over 10 people? Every life matters, but 10 people? You know who else's life matters? The law enforcement officers who are out there getting shot. Who are out there getting stabbed, run over by cars, bricks thrown at them. So that you don't. The question we need to be asking ourselves, Karen, is do we really support hashtag defund the police? No justice, no peace? What the hell does that even mean? The officer that's the whole light of this has been charged with second-degree murder. And all of the other officers involved have been charged and are now complicit in that murder. We are getting justice. What do you mean? No justice. Do you even know? Do you even know what you're out there protesting for? Defund the police? Yeah, that's a great idea. That's a great idea. So Karen, I just wanted you to know what your black background on your Instagram meant. And for everyone else, we really need to be asking the question, why do they want to do this? Why? And I'll leave it at that. Thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, please subscribe. Please comment below. I'm sure I'll get a lot of wonderful comments about this video. Don't care. Don't care. You disagree with me? That's fine. I don't care. Some things are debatable. This isn't. This is destroying our country. It's not debatable. Facts matter. And you should look into them. Thank you very much for watching. We'll be live next week, and we're going to look into these numbers next week, among other things. Thank you very much.